Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Jay, and this is the one and only Bugatti Veyron. I'm really excited to do this unboxing review for you. This is a little, let's consider this a special edition of Car Buzz unboxing everyday cars and supercars, because this is, of course, a hypercar. And there's not that many of these out there, so if you see a Veyron, it's a very special day. But I'm gonna do a little bit more than the typical, specs. I want to go into the engine, but I also want to give you a lot of interesting facts about the Veyron as well, because I want you to know so much about this really cool car. And I also want to thank Los Gatos Luxury Cars in Los Gatos, California, for letting me come on down and film this car for you today. So basically, the Bugatti Veyron, it was first launched back in, I believe, 2005, and it was on the market for 10 years, meaning it was just replaced this past year by, of course, the Chiron. That came out last March at Geneva, and I promise you, the Chiron unboxing review is also on its way, so stay tuned for that. Now, the Veyron name, it comes from a guy who his name was Pierre Veyron. He was an early Bugatti engineer and test driver, and he won the 1939 24 Hours of Le Mans in, of course, a Bugatti. Now, this is an even more special edition of the Veyron. This is the 16.4 Grand Sport Vitesse, and it's part of the Legends series, and this one is called the Rembrandt series. There are only 3 Rembrandt Grand Sports in the world, and this is one of them. And it was named after Rembrandt Bugatti, and he was the younger brother of the company founder, and he was also a very famous sculptor, in the early 20th century. And his favorite sculpting material was bronze, hence the colors of this car. And he was also known for his paintings, but also his bronze sculptures of animals such as elephants. And a bronze elephant is now the symbol of Bugatti. And you're going to see more of the little special things Bugatti did to pay tribute to the younger brother of the founder with this car in a few minutes. But looking at the exterior here, I know when the Veyron first came out, everyone was really just stunned by it. There was nothing like it. It goes well over 200 miles per hour, and it just looks incredible. How has it aged over its decade-long life? Debatable. I've never been a huge fan of its exterior design, but it's also a very functional design. It's very low to the ground, it's wide, and it's a very slippery aero design, because this car has a top speed of 256 miles per hour. And even with the top down, because this is, of course, the Grand Sport, it's got a removable target top. It has a top speed of 254 miles per hour. That makes this car, the Vitesse series, the fastest roadster on the planet. So looking at the engine here, you see 16.4 on the right side. Now, what does 16.4 mean exactly? Well, 16, it comes from 2 rows of 8 cylinders, essentially 2 V8s plus 4 turbos. And I'll get to more details about the engine in just a few minutes, but just as an interesting fact, to even service this engine, it requires specially trained Bugatti technicians to remove the entire rear end of the car. So it's just not a regular tune-up job. Now, this interior, I think it's aged wonderfully since it first came out, and Bugatti's actually, they haven't really changed the interior design during the car's 10-year lifespan. They have added various little things to mark the special edition Veyrons, as you can see in this car. And just like the outside, it's got this Cognac leather seats. There's even carbon fiber sports seats, and there's a lot of aluminum. And right there on the sill plate, there's actually a picture and signature of Rembrandt Bugatti, if you caught that there. And of course, all that leather, it's hand-stitched, it's of the highest quality. Sitting in this car, there was not a single cheap component to be found. And when I get to pricing, you're going to understand why. But it's just a very luxurious interior. I don't think, that it doesn't get any much more luxurious, but simple luxury than this. And I just really, really like it. And when I saw the Chiron's new interior, if you get a chance to look at photos of that, you'll see that it's clearly an evolution of the Bugatti Veyron's interior styling. But you know what? Let's start up this engine because you just need to hear this. Alright, so that was an 8-liter W16 quad-turbocharged engine. It's got a total of 1,200 horsepower and 1,106 pound-feet of torque. And power is sent to all four wheels through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. What's interesting is that to replace that transmission for any owner who blows the gearbox, it's going to cost $120,000. That's just for the transmission replacement. So what is a W16 engine? It's basically two V8 engines matched together to a common crankshaft. And another interesting fact about that engine is that the Veyron's, its fuel pump is 7 to 8 times more powerful than the one used on a normal car. And of course, the Veyron is the exact opposite of a normal car. So how about performance? Because I'm sure a lot of you know that, but I want to just tell you that it goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.59 seconds. As I already said, it's the top speed of 256 miles per hour with the top up, 254 with the top removed. But another thing that you may not know is that I was talking to a Bugatti press representative at the Geneva Motor Show a couple years ago, and they told me that the Veyron is capable of braking from 250 miles per hour to a complete standstill in less than 10 seconds. And another interesting thing is that when the driver goes above 120 miles per hour, that rear wing that you saw deploy also serves as an air brake. Because, you gotta stop somehow. Which brings me to the brakes. As you saw, they're big, beefy brakes. They're carbon ceramic disc brakes. And in case of brake failure, there's also an anti-lock braking system installed on the handbrake. So obviously Bugatti is aware of just how powerful this car is, and they put some things in place in case the worst happens to a driver. So looking at the interior, again, right there, if you saw it, as that little door opened, you can see it again. That is actually a bronze elephant. It is a real piece of bronze sculpture placed inside that little panel. Again, the little details in this car really, really count. And of course, you're going to get a lot of luxury features in the interior. You get the Bluetooth, a Puccini double stereo 4-speaker sound system, and the finest leather and carbon fiber you can get throughout. And I love even, just looking here, those little bits of aluminum and platinum on the steering wheel too. It's just a showcase of luxury. So what does something like a 250 mile per hour hypercar get in terms of fuel economy? Well, 8 miles per gallon in the city, 15 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined 10 miles per gallon. But what's also interesting is that the fuel economy is only going to be 2.3 miles per gallon while going at top speed. And how much is the fuel, the premium fuel, obviously going to cost an owner per year? Well, Bugatti estimates is going to cost around $5,700. So the operating costs, the ownership costs of a Veyron they're just through the roof. So it's not just buying the car, it's just being able to afford to maintain it. And even look here, that piece of leather covers the connector to your phone. It's, Bugatti, which is obviously, you may not know this, most people do, it's owned by Volkswagen Group. And Volkswagen is really good in just making it the little details like that phone connector. They just count for so much more. One thing I was surprised to see here is that the driver's seat, the driver and passenger seat, they're manually operated. In most supercars today, or even luxury cars and many other common cars, they're electronic. But here they're just simple manual units, which it's fine. There's a lot more to the Veyron than just being able to electronically move the seats. Another interesting thing I want to tell you is that the tires, they're run flat units, which is really good, but the replacement for a new set of tires, it costs $25,000. In fact, the tires are literally like mounted or glued on the wheels. And Bugatti will do that service to remount the wheels to the tires for owners at a cost of $70,000 per service. Something else interesting is that where a standard car only has one radiator, now the Veyron has a total of 10. That's right, 10 radiators. It's not easy to keep 1,200 horsepower cool. But get this, it takes 15 hours to build one single radiator for this car. So if you do the math, that's 150 hours of labor of making radiators for this car. Now the competition for it, aside from its successor, the Chiron, you also have the Hennessy Venom GT. That's a very, very different car. But really, the Veyron and the Grand Sport Vitesse series, it's really in a class all of its own. Bugatti has only made 300 coupes and 450 of the Grand Sport Roadsters. So pricing, well, this car originally had a list price or MSRP of about 1,700,000 euros. It has 490,000 euros worth of options, and it came to a total of almost 2.2 million euros, but that was back in 2014. Today, the price has gone up. The gas guzzler tax alone for it is $6,400. And the destination charge in handling as well is $127,000. That right there, the handling fee, is what a brand new Jaguar F-Type R Coupe will cost you, as I gave the pricing away in my other recent unboxing video of that car. So the car you see here, with all those options, gas guzzler tax and delivery and handling fee, it comes to a total of over $3.1 million. But I think the people who buy these, they know it's worth every penny to them. It's a collector's car, it's special, it's fast, and it's just going to increase in value over the years. So it's really a good investment if you have the money. You can see it's really low to the ground, and then the suspension will raise and lower just so that, you don't want to scrape the bottom of this car, because that's thousands of dollars worth of damage right there. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoy that review. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. Again, Chiron review, that is coming up real soon. If you have any more suggestions for future cars you want me to review, also leave those in the comment section below. And be sure to check out the full review and other stories of the Bugatti Veyron at carbuzz.com. So until then, everyone, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.